Hello there. Today I'm taking a look at a wine that's arguably from one of the best producers of the Sancerre region in the central vineyards of France's Loire Valley. So this is a Sancerre Rouge from Domaine Vacheron, and this is from a Ludi, a single vineyard called Belle. It's the 2019 vintage of that. Domaine Vacheron have an excellent reputation, not just for their whites, but also particularly for their reds. And I have to be honest here and say that actually when I bought this, I thought I was buying a white wine. It was a fairly dark warehouse I was buying for. I was in a hurry. And actually I was really delighted to find that I'd made the mistake and I'd bought a red, because I think this is absolutely exceptional, Red Sancerre. But in honesty, if you look at the label here, there is nothing on the label to say whether this is a Sancerre Rouge or a Sancerre Blanc. It simply is an AOC Sancerre from this producer. The indication obviously was the dark bottle. Never mind. The estate was established in 1900 and today is run by two cousins, Jean-Louis and Jean-Dominique Vacheron. And my understanding is that they're the fourth generation of their family to run the estate, although I have somewhere else seen them quoted as being the third generation, so my apologies if I'm wrong in saying the fourth. The estate is entirely organic and since 1999 has been run biodynamically, and since 2005 has been certified as such. The Vacherons have around 45 hectares of vines, mostly at a height of about 300 to 350 metres above sea level, and they've built their reputation on the quality of their 8 Ludis that they make as separate wines, trying to emphasise the individual terroirs of this region, and Belle is one of the Ludis. The vines for this particular wine are 50 years old, so there's a lovely concentration there, and the soils are this particular quality soil type that you find in this part of the world, silex flint, so there's a high degree of flint in the soils with clay and limestone beneath. The approach here, viticulture, as well as the biodynamic and organic viticulture, is to keep yields low. So with a maximum yield of 50 hectolitres, the domain here averages something like about 43, although in a hot, dry year such as 19, it could be lower than that. The fruit is hand harvested. It's fermented in upright oak fermenters. Fermentation is allowed to start with the indigenous yeasts that have come in to the winery on the fruit, or were already present fermenting in the winery when the fruit arrived there. Extraction is managed using pigeage, so pushing the cap of skins that floats to the top back down into the fermenting must, and a period of 30 days total maceration is allowed, so that's with the maceration continuing after the end of fermentation. Aging, the wines spend 12 months in barrel. I have no idea how new that oak is. One would assume French oak, but after that 12 months it then goes on to spend a further 12 months in 25 hectolitre, so 2,500 litre oak casks. The wines are bottled, unfined and unfiltered. 2019 is a vintage sort of hot, dry summer. However, the season had started slowly when there were frosts in April, and then there was quite a cool start to the growing season. However, the later heat gave the wine some lovely concentration, and a dry period over harvest meant that the fruit was all very healthy when it came into the winery. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? I'll say, for a Loire Pinot Noir, I'll often expect those to be lighter, but certainly the dark colour you've got here doesn't indicate that. It's not a particularly deep colour. I can very easily see through the wine. I can see the stem of the glass. Swirling it. The aromas are very attractive. There's a lovely balanced ripeness there. There's juicy, soft red fruits. There's richer, more concentrated, slightly meaty, darker red, more sort of plummy type fruit. There are notes of vanilla and cedar over the top of that. The oak is showing quite attractively. There are sweet spices other than the vanilla, sort of cinnamon and touches of cedar, but it's not. It's well married with the fruit. It's not standing out particularly. The wine is 14% alcohol, and you can see that it's forming some quite notable tears as I swirl the glass there. So let's have a taste, shall we? Initially on the palate, there's a delicious, soft red fruit, very juicy, very rich. And that's lifted by beautiful fresh acidity. But actually, there is a concentration. I mean, not concentration in the way that you have huge Shiraz or something like that, but for Pinot Noir, really quite a solid, this darker red fruit, more sort of plum note there, but fresh, good acidity continuing there. So, you know, fresh red plum. The oak is less obvious on the palate in terms of flavour, but is providing tannin to the finish there. Again, there's a sort of a sweet spice note, and in combination with the alcohol at 14%, there's a sort of a warmth and a slightly bitter bite to the back palate there, and that's allowing that rich plummy fruit to show itself as well. So there's nice weight on a relatively long finish there. The wine has beautiful elegance, but also has some concentration that generally you would think would be more akin to what you'd expect to see from something in Burgundy, from the Côte de Nuit or something like that. The wine not only has beautiful intensity, but its balance and its harmony is very impressive. As yet, I suspect this is a wine that is really quite young. I think those tannins may tone themselves down a bit. I think the fruit will start to develop more tertiary notes. You know, this is still quite primary red fruit. We haven't started to see more developed mushroom truffle sort of notes developing on this, but there's such a lovely concentration of fruit that I'm sure that they will follow. But most importantly, that sort of beautiful fresh acidity is lifting everything, keeping it clean and elegant. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the tasting. I've been very impressed with this wine from Domaine Vacheron. If you've enjoyed the tasting, do please like the video, do please share it with your friends. Perhaps even consider signing up to follow us on YouTube. That would be fantastic. You're very welcome to leave any comments. We'd love to hear what you feel about these wines, other wines you've tried from the region, or about the videos that we're making, any suggestions you have. Most importantly, however, I do hope that you'll manage to find some time to join us for another tasting in the very near future. Goodbye for now.